Greetings, Sama Morningstar here, and I'm making this video today to share with you about my experience of the Valley Fire and being involved in the community recovery, and to ask for your support. I was lucky enough to have my house survive the Valley Fire, which you may be aware, it was a very large, very fast, very hot wildfire that destroyed Harbin Hot Springs, which was a wonderful sanctuary, was my workplace where I offered my healing services, and it was the sanctuary for many people from all over the world who came to learn and to retreat, rejuvenate, to recover from their own traumas in life. And now that place is gone. So many people are really feeling the loss of Harbin Hot Springs. And not only that, but the people who lived and worked there, the residents, lived often not only on Harbin property, but also, like myself, lived in the surrounding areas. And many people who weren't necessarily associated with Harbin, they weren't residents there, they didn't work there, but their businesses and their livelihoods were very much dependent upon the inflow of guests and visitors to Harbin. So many of the local businesses really were relying on that. So Harbin is a great loss to this community. Not only that, the people who are living in this community, large portion of them lost their homes, their businesses, farms, ranches. This community has suffered a great loss. And it was very traumatic. It was very fast. The fire, people describe it as it was a firestorm. It wasn't just a wildfire. It was a firestorm. And it just went so fast and powerful through the community. People were lucky to get out alive. It's amazing that there weren't more fatalities. I think last I heard there was only about 4 or 5 people that perished in the fires, either from staying behind, refusing to leave, or not being able to get out, or whatever the reasons be. There were a number of firefighters that were injured as well, fighting the fires. So when I discovered that my home was not destroyed in the fire, it became clear to me that I have skills that would be in great demand in the recovery of for this community after the fire. So I've been a massage therapist for over 20 years and have seen over the years of my practice how important massage therapy is in recovery from trauma. Many people have come to me over the years who have pain in their bodies, and when we really start to look into it, it's related, of course, to the emotional pain in their lives, big changes that might be going on in their lives, and recovering from losses, from devastation, from major life events, accidents, things like that. And getting a massage, for me, I needed to study massage early on in my life and learn how to heal my body, because all of my emotional trauma from my old childhood showed up as pain and inflammation in my body. And so just talking to somebody like a psychologist or a therapist worked only so far. It helped me to reframe how I was looking at things and possibly, change my behaviors to a certain degree. But until I addressed where the emotional trauma was lodged in my body, the healing was incomplete. And so, in fact, I started with the healing of the body. And then, because I knew how important just intrinsically healing the body of those traumas was, I'd watched family members and friends and felt in myself, I could understand that if I could just do this and that differently, then things would be healthier in my life. If I could just let go of the pain from the past, because that's not what's happening now anymore. Now I'm here, it's not the same. I could think about that and talk to people, talk to you about it. But until I released the patterning from my actual physical tissues, it would keep recreating the same pattern. So those were some of the motivations why 20 years ago, in my early 20s, I went to massage school and yoga studies, started doing more yoga and breath work, because I felt like the body needed to also be released of those tensions. And so that's why I feel it's so important to offer massage and body work to people in this community who are recovering from major trauma and major change in their lives. Unexpected, surprising change, unchosen changes, which are often some of the hardest ones. Because it's not like you said, okay, I'm going to quit my job and go do something different now in a different town, and you packed up all your stuff or sold it or gave it away and went off somewhere new. That you would be choosing. This was completely out of the blue. People were planning on retiring here. This is a very lovely and easeful retirement community because the cost of living is relatively low and it's out in nature. And Harbin was nearby. People had set up their whole retirement with these things in mind. And now, boom, out from underneath them, people who are far along in their retirement, 70-year-old people, 80-year-old people, suddenly nothing, everything out from underneath them. So this is very traumatic. And also people like myself, professionals who were being of service in this kind of community. Suddenly their basis of operation, Harbin Hot Springs and other businesses, service businesses, suddenly their inflow of clientele is drastically reduced. And so this, sudden life change like that can be a source of a great deal of stress, not to mention the trauma of escaping a very dangerous, life-threatening firestorm. And then coming back to either find your home completely and all your belongings completely destroyed, or coming home to find it still there and all of your neighbors and community members, their homes destroyed. So there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of physical injury from just the getting up and getting out of here experience, or staying behind and protecting your home experience. And so I feel my massage therapy services have been, will be very much needed, and they're already in very high demand, since many of the massage therapists that people went to regularly have left the area. Their homes burned down, they found other jobs, they went to stay with family, they're gone. I'm still here. I'm able to offer this service to people who are still here. And so I feel it's very important. And I'm also offering herbal medicine. Many people's lungs are suffering from inhaling the air, which has a lot more toxins in it, because when a lot of the homes that burned down were older, before there were regulations about asbestos or lead paint. And when it all burned down, those particulates, toxic particles, were released into the air, not to mention plastics and everything in a home that you wouldn't burn to dispose of it because of its toxic consistency, toxic constituents, was burned and released into the air, and people are going sifting through their ashes. The wind kicks up dust in the air from, my home is surrounded by homes that had burned, and even ashes from trees or bushes that burned. It's not healthy for our lungs to breathe ashes, let alone the emotional grief. The chest and lung and heart area tends to be where we stash that emotional grief. And so there's a lot of coughing and sneezing and congestion, bronchitis, and I've created here it is, a lung salve, and I've made these before. They've been very helpful for me when I've had that, and my husband and several friends. And since the fire, I've put it out there to the community that these are available free of charge or by donation, by contribution, and I can't keep them stocked. They are just flying out of here, and I'm running out of supplies. And so I'm making this video to put on my YouCaring account, which is specifically to receive sponsorship donations for people to receive my herbal wellness supplies, herbal wellness products. These are handmade with the highest quality of ingredients. Use organic shea butter and sunflower seed oil as a base. And then I put therapeutic grade essential oils in. I also make herbal teas and syrups to help support people nutritionally and to help their bodies to process the toxins and heal from the emotional grief and stress. And I also offer massage therapy and herbal spa treatments. And I specialize in helping people with low back pain, which is very common right now because our foundation has been pulled out from underneath us. And that often shows up with pain in the low back. And I also support people with coaching services. I have a Coming Home to You program where people can receive support in finding their own wisdom, reconnecting to their own center and wisdom about how to care for themselves and how to make their own inner wellness important, create their own inner sanctuary. And there's many people that are needing this right now because many people went to Harbin to find that for themselves. People who live here locally, people from all over the world are really feeling the loss of Harbin Hot Springs, their sanctuary. And so I've created this program to support people to create their own inner sanctuary for themselves. There's a lot of healing to be done in the aftermath of these fires, and it's going to be going on for a while. So I'm creating this YouCaring funding account to give people with the means the opportunity to sponsor survivors of the Valley Fire, people who have suffered some loss in the fires here in Northern California, to receive healing treatments from me. And so I will be making a list of the healing services that I have available on the YouCaring account, and you can choose one or more of those ways of sponsoring someone. There will also be the option, if you want any of these services for yourself and would like to sponsor someone else as well, you'll be able to go ahead and there'll be a little package deal for your service and then with another service for someone else on there. So look for that. And I will be sharing this around, and I invite you to please share about this to others who also may want to support us in this way. So I really appreciate your support, and together we can rebuild our homes and our sanctuary and support each other to really come home to our own inner sense of sanctuary and self-love. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And you can see more about the healing services that I offer on my website, samamorningstar.com. I encourage you to go there and check out the descriptions of the services that are available there. And also, please contribute generously to sponsor people to heal from these events. So thank you so much, many blessings, and I will see you soon.